In today's Leeds news, weekend result roundup, youth Callups, Augustin appeal update, and Sam Greenwood option. Morning folks, Ger here at The View on Monday morning the 9th of October with your Leeds United news. Great results for Leeds at the weekend, some good results all around and we'll get into them. The match review will be done later on today as a live stream later on tonight probably. Trying to keep them separate, not everybody's a fan of having both in the news. So we'll crack on with the news, we'll keep this one short and sweet and we'll move on. We'll start off with the wrap up of the weekend results and we'll start off with the under-21s who got back to winning ways with a 4-1 win against Luton Town. Goals in this game from Charlie Allen, Luca Thomas, Sean McGurk and Lewis Bate gave Leeds the 3 points after a couple of poor results for that team in recent weeks. Schools will be pretty happy with this performance all round. It was good to see some players returning to the squad as well. Joe Snowden made his return and he was very good at the back end of last season for Leeds, and an exciting player for a lot of Leeds fans to keep an eye on as well. Great to see him back in the side as well. Sean McGurk continues his fine start to the season with another goal in that game and involved in other goals as well, so he had a really good game. Highlights of that game are on LUTV, you can check that out if you want to. Moving on to under 18s result. I can't get all the goal scorers for this one for some reason. I've looked around and they're not available. But the Leeds United under 18s had a 3-1 win against Wolverhampton Wanderers under 18s. What I can confirm is Harry Gray did score in that game again. So his very, very strong start to his season at under 18, under 17 level for 14-year-old has been excellent. So well done to Harry there. Moving on to Leeds women's team, they unfortunately lost out this weekend 4-3 to Hull. Jess Rossio gave Leeds a lead early on before Hull then equalised in the 37th minute. It went in 1-1 at half time with the break. Leeds came out in the second half a bit slow. Hull took the lead in the 48th minute, but Leeds did equalise in the 53rd minute through with them. Leeds then got a penalty 3 minutes later. That goal was scored then by Kath Smith to give Leeds a 3-2 win, but 4 minutes later, Hull equalised, bringing it back to 3-3, and then 15 minutes later, on the 75th minute, Hull got their winner, a fourth for them. Leeds did hit the post in the 94th minute, but not enough to get a win in that game of what a very exciting game, and again, highlights of that game are available as well. A lot of goals in a very short amount of time in the second half. So Leeds still on the search for a women's team manager as well. Hasn't been sorted out, or at least hasn't been announced yet by a club. So still in transition very much there with the Leeds women's team. Moving on, let's talk about a couple of youth call-ups and some really strong starts to the season have been rewarded. Archie Gray's strong start and a fantastic performance again at the weekend for Leeds, sees him called up to the England under-19 side. Archie has now represented England at 15s, 16s, 17s and 19s as well, so he continues his fine form up through the England youth ranks as well. Other players called up, Matteo Joseph and Darko JB have received call-ups to the England under-20 side, both of those players becoming ever-present in that team so far. And as we mentioned last week, Charlie Creswell has been called up to the England under-21 side as well. In other call-ups as well, the Welsh trio, quartet. The Welsh trio have all been called up as well. Dan James, Joe Roden and Ethan Ampadu have all been called up for Wales. So Dan Farke will have a lot of players to still work with over the international break, but we'll be missing a couple of key players. But we'll give him a chance to work with the lads that probably need more minutes and more attention as well, as Leeds look to use the next 2 weeks to get them in a strong position to hit the ground running for the Norwich game when they come out of the international break. So keen to watch that one as well. Moving on to the two main stories of today, and we'll start off with the John Kevin Augustin one, and this has been lumbering on for a while. As you all know, Leeds did lose an appeal last year to FIFA, and John Kevin Augustin was awarded £24.5 million, the entirety of his 5-year contract that he would have signed at Leeds had Roger Zani and Victor Orta not pulled the plug on that one. According to finance expert Kieran Maguire, Leeds should feel confident of winning their latest appeal. Leeds have lodged an appeal with the Court of Arbitration for Sport around the amount of money being awarded to Augustin. Again, that 24.5 million. And according to Maguire, Leeds will have some confidence of winning this. The settlement was awarded by FIFA. They're now appealing to CAS for this as well. Maguire states that unless Leeds are feeling very confident about this, they wouldn't waste their time, but they also wouldn't waste the legal fees and the appeal fees that are said to go into the high six-figure sum due to the fact of the fee being discussed in the settlement. So Leeds wouldn't be wasting close to £1 million on this unless they felt that they had some grounds on the appeal. He went on to say that Leeds have taken the appropriate legal counsel and feel that they have a constructive case going into this appeal with CAS. The legal costs, as I said, will be in the high six figures depending on how this goes. Leeds could end up losing the whole thing. But again, as Kieran Maguire said, Leeds wouldn't be appealing this unless they felt they had a case either reduced to 24.5 million amount down or wipe it out completely. So it would be one that would help Leeds over the next couple of years, because especially in the Championship, 24.5 million is a lot of money if you have to give that away rather than investing it in your team. Moving on to the final Leeds story of the day, and it relates to Sam Greenwood, who scored his first goal for Middlesbrough this weekend and has played in their last 2 games and is doing quite well there at the moment after a slow start to his time at Middlesbrough. According to Athletic, Middlesbrough have a £1.5 million option to buy Sam Greenwood at the end of his loan at this season. That is the same amount of money as Leeds paid Arsenal when they purchased Sam Greenwood back in the day. Greenwood, as I said, did score his first goal, playing a deeper role for Boro, but a lovely near post finish from him this weekend gives him a goal, and he's coming for some high praise from his manager as well, Michael Carrick, over his last 2 performances. Carrick saying that he was frustrated initially coming in after having an injury in pre-season for Leeds, which just kind of stopped what he wanted to do at Leeds. And then coming in having to sit on the bench for a couple of weeks for Boro and wait for his moment. But he took it during the week, playing in the number 10 position as well, and he scored this weekend as well, a fine goal actually, and a very good performance from him as well. Greenwood was speaking as well about his time at Leeds United and basically stating that his actual position is a number 10 or a striker, but said that Jesse Marsh saw something in him as a deeper player around his range of passing and his ability to counter press, and that's why Jesse played him in the deeper role. I suppose the best example of him playing in that role was the Brentford game where Leeds stayed up, where he had a fine game in that one, but then kind of struggled for minutes after that again with Leeds, being brought on in games where he didn't really make an impact in the midfield area. So, but he said that if he's being clear on this, his main position is up front or in the number 10 position, and that's where he likes to play. And then it has now also come out on the back of this that if this goes well, Boro do have an option to buy Sam Greenwood for £1.5 million at the end of the season. I don't think Leeds fans can complain about the amount of money. I think Leeds fans, up until he scored this weekend, probably would have said, yeah, we probably take that for him. I like Sam Greenwood. I've made no secret of liking Sam Greenwood. I think there's a good player in there somewhere. It should be pointed out though, this is an option to buy, not an obligation to buy. So if Sam Greenwood goes on to have a hell of a season, Leeds will have the option to bring him back as well and not go through with the deal. It's not an obligation, it's only an option to buy. So yeah, there's time on that, but it's great to see Sam Greenwood doing well. Don't hold any grudges against that player going out on loan. He needs minutes, he needs games, and needs to kickstart his career. So best luck to him at Boro as well. Just not against us, although he can't play against us, but you know what I mean. Not the cost of us. And that's going to be pretty much it for me today, folks. Not a huge amount floating around. I will be back tomorrow with a full long watch, and I will try and get a live stream out tonight if I can, doing a match review from the game at the weekend. A great 3 points for Leeds, puts them in a really good, solid position going into international break, and then looking at coming out international break with hopefully 3 points against Norwich and a run that will see Leeds go into Christmas, hopefully getting close to those top 2 spots. That's it for me. Have a great day. Enjoy yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.